What's up, everybody? This is Mancave Dave, Wisconsin, with an autograph collection update video. Haven't done one of these in a while, and this is some stuff I've picked up over the last couple of months, some shows I've gone to, and with the move, some of you may know that my family and I are moving to Michigan. I wanted to do one of these before I pack it all up in with the rest of my vinyl and signed vinyl over here. So here's what we got. Last month I went and saw Bullet for My Valentine in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I have to admit, I'm not a huge Bullet for My Valentine fan, but I just haven't listened to much of their stuff. Not that I think they're bad or anything. But I had tickets to see them a couple years back and bought a couple of their albums. I met Moose, the drummer, before the show. He signed them for me. But then the lead singer got sick and they had to cancel the show. And so I've been hanging on to these albums, with just one signature on them for a couple of years. And when I saw they were coming back, I figured I had to do it. And actually went for the VIP package, which included a meet and greet. Whenever you're doing the VIP package, something that you really have to be careful of and know what you're getting. I've done about 5 of them now, and the ones that I've done through the bands have usually been pretty good. The ones that have been through outside companies, this one was through Adventures in Wonderland, and it was okay. It wasn't as impersonal as some of the other ones I've done. But they sound really, really nice. They're usually quite expensive. This one was okay in price, but you don't get as much access to the band as one might think. For instance, a couple years back I did one from Megadeth, and met the band. Meeting the band means you go through once and shake their hand and get a picture. You spend about 5 seconds with them and that's it, which is understandable. I mean, these folks, they're on the tour, on the road a lot. They see hundreds of people. They don't want to hear your life story. But it would have been really nice if I could have at least brought an album that I wanted to get signed. They were nice enough to give you a real nice signed lithograph, which was cool, pre-signed. But it's just something about taking something that you care about. I had a record, euthanasia record, I wanted to get signed, that would have been really cool. But anyway, I did one with Guns N' Roses as well, and it was kind of the same thing where you got to meet some folks. It was Dizzy Reed and a few of the new guys, which was really cool. They were nice. They were talking to us. You weren't supposed to bring anything to get signed, which they actually changed that the day of, which really sucked. But I waited till be the last in line and asked really nicely if they would sign a couple things for me, and they did, so that was pretty cool. I've done them with Hailstorm and In This Moment, especially Hailstorm. Are just fantastic. They're a Grammy-winning band, and they actually hang out with you, talk with you, take pictures. They're just real personable, really humble. So I wasn't sure what to expect with the Bullet for My Valentine one, and it was okay. You went through once and got an album signed or something signed, and then you went through a second time. They took a picture with you. There was about 15 of us, so not too big of a crowd. This is the swag they gave us. Nice little black bag here. A tin pick set. Which I haven't opened. It's still sealed. Probably just keep it that way. Laminate, Milwaukee VIP, has the dates on the back. And this is like a bracelet, I think. It says Bullet for My Valentine in black. And then a poster, which kind of cheap poster, but especially if you didn't bring anything to get signed, it's nice that they give you something there. But they said you could bring in one thing. I brought in 2, and again, if you do that, you just be really polite and just ask. And usually the bands are happy to accommodate you, especially if it's not something like Megadeth, who's like uber huge. But here are my 2 albums that I got signed. I picked these up a few years ago, as I mentioned. Without really listening to them, I just really like the artwork, especially being a fan of creepy older horror movies and sci-fi movies. These are just kind of creepy looking and just kind of cool. So we got Scream, Aim, Fire, and Fever. You can see where Moose signed before in black, and then the other band members signed in silver when I met them this time around. So that was pretty neat to at least say hi, which is cool. Also met a couple of the opening bands. They had 3 openers. The first one was Stars in Stereo, which is kind of a, I hate to say it, but a cookie-cutter, female-fronted pop metal band. I wasn't going to buy their album until I heard one of their last songs called Every Last Thing, which I really liked. I don't know why. It's just kind of catchy, and I liked her voice on it. So I bought their album. They signed it for me. Got a picture with them, and they signed the CD for me as well. So that was nice. The next opening band was Young Guns, and I had a chance to meet them, but I wanted to stick around and catch the next band, which I'm a big fan of, Hailstorm. And so after the show, they were hanging out, kind of out by the buses, so got a chance to get my CD signed. And again, just fantastic. Got to congratulate them on their Grammy. Good band. But the big one, again, Bullet for My Valentine, actually ended up leaving a little bit, about halfway into their set, just because I had to work the next day. But a fun show. Before that, about a month before that, I got to see Udo. Udo, and I'm not sure of his last name, starts with a D. It's German. I can't pronounce it even if I knew it. Was the lead singer of the 80s band Accept, which is a metal band. Their big song, Balls to the Wall, and a few others, Metal Heart. It's just a, kind of classic 80s metal. He went solo with his band Udo, and what's neat about this guy and this band is they play these huge coliseums in Europe for these huge rock festivals. And then here they were in Janesville, Wisconsin, at one of my favorite venues, the Back Bar, which holds maybe 200-300 people tops, sold out crowd. So it was a really intimate show. Got to see everybody up close. And even though Udo didn't come out at the end, his tour manager was really great. Said, "Hey, I see you guys with your albums. Give them to me. I'll take them on the bus." And Udo signed them there. And so Udo's kind of funny. He reminds me of my grandpa. He's kind of this heavy-set, shorter man, gray hair, kind of squinty. And then he opened his voice, and there was this metal voice that you hear on the radio. I was like, that's not my grandpa. So it's kind of fun. But here we have Udo, Animal House. Unfortunately, he signed this one in silver, so it's a little bit hard to see unless the light hits it, but it's right there on him. And then we have this. It's a picture disc, Accept picture disc. You can see right there, the signature interview disc. Restless and Wild. I got to meet a couple of the other guys, Wolf, and I forget this guy's name, when they played at Scats in Middleton a few years back. So I try to have just the people who are actually on the album sign the albums. I wasn't always as discerning when I first started, but nowadays I try. So it's kind of nice to have 3 of the members sign that. Same with this, Russian Roulette. He signed there. And Live in Japan. And Metal Heart. So, yeah, getting closer to completing those albums with signatures. Fun concert, very fun concert. And big thank you to Bob and Rick Dries from Headliner Entertainment for putting that on. My next piece here is one of my favorite pieces that I have in my collection, right up there with the B.B. King signed album or the Appetite for Destruction sealed LP that my staff gave me. This is from a concert I went to, actually the one where I met Megadeth. It is a huge canvas print from the Rave Eagles Club in Milwaukee with Dave Mustaine and Lenny Kilmister from Motorhead, and it's signed in silver Sharpie. So we got Dave Mustaine here from Megadeth, Chris Broderick from Megadeth, David Ellefson from Megadeth, and then Lenny Kilmister from Motorhead. And this thing is massive. I mean, you can see the 12-inch LP there. It's probably 2 foot by 3 foot. There's one more signature on here, and I have no idea who this is. And so if anybody knows, let me know. It kind of looks like Shirley. Shirley? I don't know. Sean? I got nothing. But as far as I know, there's no Shirley in Megadeth, Motorhead, Volbeat, or Lacuna Coil. So if anybody knows who that is, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear. But this is one of my favorite pieces that I have. So the Raven Eagles Club, they print out a few of these for each show, like their big shows, and have the artists sign them if they will, and then they hang them up or hold on to them. And then as they need space, they'll auction them off. And I was fortunate enough to make an offer on this one that was accepted. And this is the concert I went to see with my friend Jake. He's very jealous that I have this, but it's really cool. I haven't found a good place to put it up yet. Hopefully after the move, once we have our new place, I'll be able to find something. It's just really an epic piece. My other piece I'm going to show you here is one of my other favorite things. I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. And so a few years back, I bought a guitar with the hopes of learning, but I made the mistake of getting it signed. And that led to more signatures and more signatures as I come into contact with some of my favorite guitarists. And so this is my guitar. I have since bought a second guitar to learn how to play. Haven't had much time to do it, but hopefully soon I'll be able to get back into it. Yeah. So I have pictures with most of the people who have signed this, except maybe a couple that, it was a real quick sign as they were walking by, that kind of thing. So, very first signature I got is right here. Joe Satriani. He was doing an in-store in Casio Interstate Music. That's the day I bought the guitar, and he signed it for me. Then we got Tim McIlrath from Rise Against. He was doing a rally in Madison for state worker rights and unions, and I'll show a couple other signatures that were there at that time too. George Lynch from Dokken and Lynch Mob, had a chance to see him a few times, which is great. Desi Rex and SS Priest from a band called Demals, which is just a very fun band. If you get a chance to see these guys live, do it. You can't help but have a big smile on your face the whole time. I think this guy's name is Patrick Abate. He's a Italian virtuoso player who plays with Willie Bass. Willie Bass, the bassist and lead singer of the 80s band Black Sheep, played with the likes of Slash and some other folks. Great band, great artist. This is Wayne Kramer from MC5, and it says, "This tool kills hate." Unfortunately, I don't have a picture with him, but he was playing at the same rally where Tim McIlrath was. We got Wolf from Accept, when I met them. This is one of my favorites. Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine and Audio Slave. He was also at the rally. He was really cool. Signed an album for me, signed an album for my son. Came out, hung out with the fans for a bit. Dave Meniketti from the 80s band Y&T. Eric Turner, a couple guys from Warrant signed this when I saw him. It was really cool. They gave me back the guitar and there was a pick stuck in it, so that was neat. Michael Thomas from Faster Pussycat, Alex Grossi from Quiet Riot. Not the original guitarist, but joined him up a bit later. I guess there's been a couple of guitarists, but great guy. Let's see here. I forget his name. Joel, maybe? From Warrant, the other guitarist. Nice to meet him. Then we got Rob and Scott Ian from Anthrax. Met these guys when they were playing with the Damn Things in Madison, Wisconsin. Great show. It was really cold that night, and I had my guitar in the truck. I mean, like, probably 3 degrees outside. And so, when I brought it in, unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to warm the guitar up in the case. And so it immediately, got condensation all over it. So when Scott first tried to sign it, the Sharpie just kind of slid right off. So it took a few minutes of, warming it up and rubbing it off, and then he signed it again. So a little bit of shadow there. Gilby Clarke from Guns N' Roses, he signed this in 2010. And I feel really bad. I cannot remember who this is. Mark somebody. I'll have to look through my pictures and see who that is, because, I just cannot remember for the life of me. We got a couple more here on the top. I saw Hailstorm a while back. They had an opening band that had Virus from Dope, guest guitarist on, guest guitarist. So Virus from Dope, signed here. And then over here, let's see if I can do this. We've got Frederick Eckson from Opeth. He did it in-store. Got a chance to have him sign this. This is really cool. Hailstorm. They did a little picture and signed. And so we got Lizzie Hale, Joe, and then RJ. I didn't really want RJ to sign it because I tried just to have guitarists do this, but he was so excited. He's like, "Dude, I'll sign your guitar." I was like, "All right, man. Sounds cool." So, I don't know. That's pretty cool. Hailstorm signed it for me. And then we've got one more on the flip side here. I saw Slash a while back, and I was really bummed. He didn't sign my guitar. He did sign a bunch of albums for me, but I was too slow in getting a guitar. However, Miles Kennedy signed this for me, and Miles Kennedy is just an amazing guitarist as well as singer. So from Ultra Bridge and Slash's band, he signed that for me there. So I would love to add Slash to this at some point. I'm starting to run out of room, which is a good problem, but still hope to get a bunch more signatures on this as time goes by, and pass it on to my son at some point. So anyway, from here in Wisconsin, this is Mancave Dave. Thank you all. I'm glad that some of you folks are enjoying my videos and have a chance to see my collection. Love the comments, so please let me know what you think. And keep on rocking, and I'll see y'all at the next show. Take care.